Team has been the same all week. We are ready for this. We're not surprised to be here, Campbell said. Not me, not our players, not anyone in our building. As for the size of the moment, the first conference title game in 32 years for Detroit, Campbell said we've been playing big games for a year straight. This is just the next one. We're built to be able to beat any team. Now we have the chance to prove it. For more on the team they'll try to prove it against. Across to my partner on the other sideline, Aaron Andrews, EA.
Tom, Kyle Shanahan said, I'm not going to be over the top today with my message. Our team knows what this is. We also know what it's like to lose. He said, I respect the fact Detroit's coming in, talking about who they are and how they play, but we've always been like this. And honestly, the Lions haven't played anyone like us. That is something I want my team to know. He said, the Lions think we have to match them. Not the case, Kev. He said, we just have to show them who we are.
Oh, I like it. And so the stage is set, and Spanish language broadcast available on Fox Deportes. The 49ers won the toss. They have deferred, so the Lions will get the ball first. Niners, Lions for the right to go to the Super Bowl, and here we go. And so Detroit will start from the 25-yard line, where we will see their fifth-ranked offense in Jared Goff, who had the best year of his career.
And when you go back, the first move, remember the first move this regime made when Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, the GM head coach, was that big trade. They sent Matthew Stafford to Los Angeles, and Jared Goff came here, and there was a lot of questions. Was he the franchise quarterback? Was he in the future? Well, all he has done in these 3 years is answer every question thrown, and he's as big a reason they're in this championship game as anybody on this Lions roster.
Here's a little flip to Montgomery. Looking for a block from Sewell. Gets outside, and Montgomery's going to pick up 4 on first down. And you look at this Lions offense, they can attack you in a number of ways. They're second only to San Francisco in explosive plays, but they've got to have the run game today, don't they?
Yeah, I think the run game, especially early, if there's one deficiency of this San Francisco defense, it's they don't face a lot of runs, but when they do, they're kind of middle of the pack. They're not a great yards per carry defense, and I think early on, the Lions are going to lean heavily on Montgomery and Gibbs, the rookie.
Here's Montgomery again. Center step, big hole and a first down. Montgomery all the way up near the 44. And on cue, that's a good start.
Yeah, 2,000-yard backs. You see Montgomery, he's the starter, and Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to be kind of the change of pace, the rookie first-rounder, and just really well blocked. This is the strength of this offense, is their versatility, the ability to put a lot of load on this offensive line, both in the run game and as the pass game unfolds.
Fake here. Goff with some pressure. Gets off. Laporta's wide open. First down and more. And Sam Laporta on the play fake in the boot from Goff. And another first down and a good start to this game for the Lions. Going against this 49ers defense. And regular season, they were the third best D in the league. The pass rush has suffered a little bit of late. They didn't have a sack against Green Bay, but when it mattered late, they didn't allow a single point in the fourth quarter last week. First down, another fake. Coming with Jameson Williams, the speedster, has a block. Williams cuts up, 25, 20, still on his feet. Jameson Williams scores! Yards and a quick lead for the Lions.
Well, we talked about which defense has the ability to stop the explosive plays. You see Jameson Williams, he starts out as the wide receiver left, a little flip reverse. Frank Ragnow, the center, he gets out in space, and that is an element of this offense, the big play. We see them throw the ball deep a lot to Jameson Williams, but getting the ball in his hands. This is one of the most explosive offenses in the league, and right out of the gate, they did it on the ground.
Extra point up by Badgley, and it's good. So 49ers decide to kick it away after winning the coin toss, and the Lions make them pay. Jameson Williams. Well, Jameson Williams now has 4 touchdowns in his NFL career. They're all over 30 yards. That one on the ground, 42-yard run, and it was explosive. And we talked about it, the run game and the explosive plays. Greg, you nailed it. And that was a heck of a run. Got some good blocking by Williams. And how about that? The Lions get the ball first. 4 plays. They go down the field, stunning this 49ers crowd and take a 7-0 lead. And San Francisco will start on the 25, back to the touchdown, Greg.
Yeah, so watch, this is a really well-designed play. Watch Nick Bosa. You're going to get the guard pull and the center block back. With the back away, watch how fast Bosa closes. He thinks this is single puller backside. Now they get Ragnow. Now they get Decker out and big man in space, and you give it to the fastest guy on your team, and he does the rest.
And then breaking Dre Greenlaw's tackle at the end. He had his shirt. But that was enough. And so a quick strike from the Lions. Now it's Brock Purdy and the 49ers' turn. And Deebo Samuel back this week after coming out of last week's game after only 9 snaps with that shoulder injury. So that's good news. Here's McCaffrey, though, up the middle. Runs into a wall, and there's nothing there. Alex Anzalone on the stop there. So here is Brock Purdy, who comes off a week last week, or he even told us it wasn't his best week. Here's the bottom line. This guy wins, and in the biggest moment last week, he was great.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on this 49ers roster that anticipated or looked forward to today's game more than Brock Purdy. He was very honest with us when we met with him this week. I didn't play my best. I had a couple throws early in the game that I didn't like. Well, you said it. When it mattered at the end, he brought him back.
There he is to throw it again. First read not there, tipped over the middle, and it's incomplete. Aiden Hutchinson got his hands on that one. And you look at this 49ers offense, they've got a million weapons that can hurt you all over the field, but it usually starts and ends with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best non-quarterback offensive player in the league. Got to imagine he's going to be the offensive player of the year at season's end. But I think today, against this Detroit defense, unlike Detroit's offense, I think this needs to be a pass-centric plan early. The run defense is the best element of Detroit, and they've struggled for the last couple weeks defending the pass.
3rd and 9 here, have to pass. Purdy floats one near sideline. Ayuk has a catch, and that's a first down. And a perfect throw for Brock Purdy as Ayuk beat Cam Sutton for 11.
Well, first chance on 3rd down. Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, he decides to go man-to-man. Cam Sutton there matched up against Brandon Ayuk. I think this is a tough team to man out, Kev. I think there's a lot of matchups, a lot of formation variety. First chance there, he went man. I expect a lot more zone, eyes on the ball, limit yards after catch.
On first down, Purdy again. Has some time, lofted deep for Ayuk. Sutton is right there, and it's knocked away. Ayuk had to play defense that time because Sutton read it beautifully.
You said it. That looked like they just had a little role reversal. Cam Sutton, he's thinking he's got himself a pick, and great job there by Brandon Ayuk. He kind of turned into the defensive back, and it was him attacking the hands of Sutton to prevent that from being intercepted.
Yeah, Sutton's been under fire too, especially in these playoffs, right? The Detroit secondary has given up some major yards, but that one he saw all the way. Brings up 2nd and 10. Purdy, pressure coming, gets decked, throws, and it's caught by Samuel. Wow, Purdy took a shot, but delivered on time, and Samuel's got a first down.
Yeah, it was Aleem McNeil. He starts as the nose guard, and watch, he's going to kind of loop and beat the center, Jake Brendel. And now this again, man coverage. Deebo Samuel, man, a lot of happy 49er fans when they got the news on Friday from Kyle Shanahan that he would be back, but there's very few quarterbacks in the NFL who handle blitz and pressure better than Brock Purdy, and that was a great look at it there.
Just get the play off. Pitch to McCaffrey. He's in trouble, and he's going to make something out of nothing. Pick up a yard or maybe 2 against this Lions defense, who they've had some ups and downs, Greg, right? They like to blitz. They like to make the explosive plays. They've got some great players starting with Aiden Hutchinson. The secondary has been the target of late. We'll see if they can shore that up today.
It has, and I think you just saw him enter. Number 32, Brian Branch. The rookie out of Alabama, remember, week 1 kind of took the league by storm, pick 6 against Patrick Mahomes in the opener. I think he's the key. They are a much better nickel team with him on the field than they are with 3 linebackers, especially against the pass.
Pitch to McCaffrey. Looking for a little seam, not there. Now shoves a man aside and works his way down near the 40 to bring up a 3rd down and short. You talk about the experience in this game, and I'm just talking about the guys on the active roster. 49ers have been here plenty of times before, right? For the last 5 years, this core group has been to the championship game. Lions have 7. So we'll see how that all plays out. Obviously, the teams are a whole nother thing. And now we have an injury, as that is Barnes, who was one of the heroes last week for Detroit. Hopefully he's okay. Injury timeout. First career interception last week that sealed the game against Tampa. And here's what happened, Greg. That right leg just kind of planted so awkwardly there, and then he grabbed his knee area. And we hope he's okay. Malcolm Rodriguez checks in for him right now. Brings up a 3rd and 3 for the 49ers on their opening possession. Trailing 7-0. McCaffrey right up the middle, and Christian McCaffrey's got a 1st down. Oh, there's Kyle Shanahan as his team trying to answer the Lions' opening drive, and he told us this week, he's like, he thought last week, obviously it's good because they advanced, they survived, but he's like, we have never won a game like that the entire time I've been here. He thought learning from that lesson would be a good thing. Absolutely,
and we kind of talked about it mid-game. It was really the transition from moving Brock Purdy from that traditional under-center play-action style. After a first half of limited possession, struggles on early downs, they put him in the gun, and that was the key to that last drive.
Go pistol here, flip McCaffrey right side, looking for something, and the Lions played it well. McCaffrey's going to lose a yard that time.
All right, so keep an eye. We're going to keep track of this all day long, right? It's 5 down with 3 in the box. These big 8-man base formations are very hard to run the ball, especially against this Detroit Lions defense. So if they're going to continue to face that style from Aaron Glenn, at some point here, Kyle Shanahan's going to start pushing the ball downfield and test them with the passing game.
10th play of this opening drive. Here's a fake. Purdy knocked up in the air and incomplete. Second time today he's had one tip, and I think it's the second one that Hutchinson has. You know, Aiden Hutchinson's hard to throw over. He's 6'7", and he's all of that. Let's see if it was him. Yep.
The thing that stands out about Hutchinson, obviously his production, his pressures, leads the NFL this postseason, pressuring the quarterback, but it's the volume of snaps and the amount of energy he's able to expel time and time again that is probably the biggest factor for his success.
3rd and 11. Lions back off the blitz. Purdy over the middle. McCaffrey's a way to go, and he's stuck right at the 30. We'll see where they mark him. Malcolm Rodriguez, who just came in for Barnes with a nice hit. See how aggressive Kyle Shanahan wants to be, and he's going to send out the field goal unit.
And nice open field tackle. That's going to be a big thing for Detroit all day today, Kev. They are not a good open field tackling team, and when you play a 49ers offense that relies so heavily on yards after catch, saw a great example there. Where McCaffrey caught the balls, where they brought him down, and Kyle Shanahan is going to take 3 here and try to get on the board.
Here's the rookie Jake Moody, 48 yards on this try. And Moody up, and it is no good. He pushed it right. He had one blocked last week, and he misses this opportunity. And so the Lions get it back with a 7-0 lead as Moody fails to deliver. In week 18, an extra point and a short field goal, and that one from 48 yards was wide right. And so the Lions get it back up 7-0. Here's Jared Goff. Has a lot of time and zings it over the middle. There's his excellent rookie tight end, Sam Laporta. So the Lions race down the field on 4 plays the opening drive. What's key for the 49ers D here tonight?
I think anytime you play this style offense, especially today with some of the injuries, they have a backup at left guard. Awashika is filling in for Jonah Jackson. He left. Can the interior defensive lineman, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw, can they own the middle two A-gaps on this offensive line and push the pocket into Jared Goff's lap?
Here's the first touch for Jahmyr Gibbs, and Gibbs sprinting to the outside. He's got a first down up to midfield. Well, Gibbs, the rookie from Alabama, has been electrifying. And we saw the Lions multiple times this year. In the first few weeks, it seemed like they were trying to figure out how to use him. They know how to use him now.
Yeah, and it seemed like there was a moment during the regular season where David Montgomery, who was at the time was kind of their bell cow. He was the guy getting the majority of the production in the run game. He was out for a stretch due to injury. And it seemed like all those reps that then Gibbs was given because there was no one else to spell him, they found out what he excels at, and man, he's taken off.
Goff will get it to Gibbs here. Gibbs gets to the edge, makes a nice little move, and works his way for about a 5-yard gain. Yeah, and after that, this duo as a combo has been great. It's kind of the old thunder and lightning, if you will. But look at this. 1,000 scrimmage yards, 10 rushing touchdowns each. It's the first duo in the history of the league to accomplish that. They've been the perfect complement to each other. And then you add that into last week. They 4th and 1 at the goal line. Craig Reynolds finds himself in the game almost by accident, and then he scores. So
yeah, and on an offense where the quarterback threw for 4,500 yards. And it's pretty remarkable what they can do on this offensive side of the ball with Ben Johnson calling plays.
Here's a fake. Goff's got all day. Looking, goes far side, and there it's caught out there by Montgomery, who makes a catch. He's got another first down. A lot of time for Jared Goff on that drop back.
And it's the 1st and 2nd down play action pass, and it just does such a wonder helping your protection. Watch, under center, it's one of the best front fours in football. Take a look. I mean, Bosa wins real late, but Goff's trying to take a shot, trying to push the ball downfield for an explosive, and he has all the time in the world to just come back down and check it down and pick up a first down.
Lions on the move again, meanwhile. Here's Goff, blitz coming, kind of sidearms it to Gibbs, and that was incomplete. He had to get rid of it because Dre Greenlaw was coming in.
Yeah, something for us to keep an eye on. You see Dan Campbell. He obviously has come here in Detroit in his 3 years, and he has forever changed the culture around the Detroit Lions. But back to that previous play, KB, saw the pressure off that left edge. The decision of whether or not to pressure Jared Goff. Only Jordan Love got pressured or blitzed more this year. And last week, San Francisco only blitzed Jordan Love 2 times.
Showing blitz here. They're going to run it to Gibbs, and just nothing there. Played well. Fred Warner comes up from the linebacker spot, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long. Well, it's an interesting conundrum, right? Because Goff has struggled against the blitz, but the 49ers usually don't do it. Now 3rd and 9, what do they do here?
Well, this is one of the most interesting 3rd down offenses in the league. You know, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, typically around the league is throw the ball past the sticks. They run the ball on 3rd down, and they throw short of the sticks at a higher percentage than any team in the league because they know they have 4th down in their back pocket.
49ers that get it out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Has a wall of blockers. St. Brown diving forward. He's got a first down inside the 20, and the first touch to Amon-Ra delivers as he moves forward for 13, and the drive continues.
Now, right on cue. This is something they've made a living. They get the big boys, Penei Sewell, big number 58. He's out there in space. He's one of the best right tackles, first team All-Pro. When you have a team that is very good yards after catch, and then a head coach that is very aggressive on 4th down, it takes a lot of pressure off your offense on 3rd down from thinking you have to throw it downfield.
4-man rush. Goff, now some pressure, throws incomplete. St. Brown was against Fred Warner, who says, Hey, early on, Goff has some time, and really, end of the year, the 49ers pass rush has not been getting home with 4 guys like they did all the rest of the year. Certainly bears watching. Well, there's the defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks. This defense overall 3rd in the league, allowing points-wise during the regular season. They've had their hands full here so far, and the Lions have 120 yards of offense in this first quarter. Gibbs on the draw, nothing up the middle, cutting to the right, and then turns up the field, and Gibbs just so fast. Jair Brown thought he had a beat on him, but Gibbs works his way, which should be a first down. We'll see where they put it down.
So Randy Gregory, he plays this right. When these guys go down, you're taught to close, but he closes so hard on the pulling guard that he actually lost the edge of the defense. And then you said it, the speed of Gibbs to then just outrun the late support run defenders. He's just an electric guy with the ball in his hands, whether they get it to him by handing it to him or throwing it to him.
Now it's Montgomery in the game. Give it to him, Montgomery. Nice move up the middle. Still chugging his way all the way down to the 1. That was some swim move by Montgomery and a great run. Man, this is impressive. What a start.
It is, and you can almost bet your bottom dollar here. Dan Campbell's telling Ben Johnson, treat this second down like first. This is 4 down territory. Dan Campbell says he's got to make this a race to 30. You got to just plan on saying, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with one of the best offenses in the league, and every possession that ends with a kick, either a field goal or a punt, that's a loss if you're Detroit.
Montgomery on 2nd and goal, surging his way forward. He's in! Touchdown, Detroit!
Well, we talked about the interior of this offensive line. Frank Ragnow, he's really beat up. Back up at left guard, but watch the surge. And then you got a big back who's able to run through Dre Greenlaw. Listen, that's not an easy feat. And there's a guy right there that knows a thing or two about being a running back for the Detroit Lions.
And now it's Michael Badgley to add the extra points. And it's up and good. Wow, what a start for these Lions. Well, they got one shot, one opportunity. Try to seize everything they ever wanted, and it's off to a pretty good start. How they liking it in Ford Field? 14-zip, Detroit.
Well, I was on my regular run.
I mean, the crazy thing about that, besides I love that piece, that's the last time the Lions won a road playoff game. It was 66 years ago, and ironically, it was against San Francisco at Kezar Stadium. They went on to win the title that year, beat Cleveland, and they're off to a heck of a start here tonight, 14-0. And now we can see how the 49ers respond late in this first quarter. Well, it's not too late to play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now. Enter for free for a chance to win your share of $10,000 in weekly cash prizes. So San Francisco had a nice opening drive, went down the field, but a field goal miss of 48 yards by Jake Moody. Lions haven't been stopped. I mean, they're averaging over 7 yards per play. Here's Deebo Samuel, gets a touch. And cuts up the field, nice move by Samuel. He got around Cam Sutton that time. And Samuel going to pick up about 7 yards. So good to have him back. Had that scare last week. He had a shoulder injury earlier in the year. He had a hairline fracture, and that's what he was hoping it wasn't. Good news, it wasn't, but he only played 9 snaps. And when he's involved in such a big part of the game plan, changed the whole thing for San Francisco last week.
Yeah, and when you have a guy who's such a big part of what you do, every play, whether he's designed to get the ball or not, he's got a vital role in that play.
Here's Purdy on a fake. Now some pressure. Gets away from Kaminsky. Floats one deep down the field, and it's caught by Juszczyk, the fullback. 8 straight Pro Bowls for Juszczyk, and that's why it's a huge chance. Come on down.
Well, it's easy to kind of be the forgotten man when you play alongside Kittle and Deebo and McCaffrey and all these stars, but tell you what, man, he is as good a fullback as we've seen in the last 10 years, and this is just scramble drill under fire, and Brock Purdy's ability to extend plays, it's been an extra element to this offense.
McCaffrey up the gut, runs into Anzalone.
Now to finish that thought on Deebo before that Juszczyk catch, but when you lose a guy like that midstream, right, the game's already started, Kyle Shanahan told us, says, listen, I had to go through my call sheet, and there's a lot of plays that we can only call if Deebo Samuel's in the game. So he said, what started out with a game plan that we really liked, when it happens mid-game, it really shrinks our options, and Thankfully, Juwan Jennings, Chris Conley, a couple guys that aren't used to getting a lot of targets, stepped up.
McCaffrey on second down up the middle, and he's going to be 2 yards short of a first down. Take us down to the final seconds of this first quarter. As Shanahan's, the play sheet is much bigger this week. A lot more highlighting on there this week that's available to him. And now get some conversation there. Juwan Jennings and Kirby Joseph. A little mini altercation, I guess. Or make that Vildour. Joseph came in to help that out. Third and 2. McCaffrey up the gut, and he's got a first down. Flipped end over end. And a good run down to the 32. So the 49ers on the move to end this first quarter. But what a beginning for these Lions. They've done whatever they've wanted on offense, and the Lions fans loving it so far. 14-0 after 1.
Last first down pickup on third down by McCaffrey. And when you have a tight end that can go over 1,000 yards receiving, lead the NFL in big plays for the tight end position, and then he can get in the run game. Tell you what, those two guys, that's not the last time those two guys are going to go at it today. That's a big-time matchup.
I don't know who was more excited, Kittle or you as a tight end between the break waiting to show the highlight.
I'll tell you what, man, the Final Four is kind of dominated this weekend with tight ends.
There's Purdy to start the second quarter. Get it out to McCaffrey. One-on-one. McCaffrey breaks a tackle. McCaffrey down the sideline. Still on his feet. Surging forward. McCaffrey stopped near the 5, I think. Finally shoved out of bounds. What an effort.
Well, we told you earlier, one of the things this Detroit Lions knew coming in, they had to tackle better. This is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Got him back from injury the last couple weeks at the safety position. And if you don't tackle well in space, this 49er offense is a handful. And whether it's Debo, or in this case it's McCaffrey, they're going to do a lot of the damage with the ball in their hands after the catch.
Juszczyk gets it, and he is taken down. Gets down just inside the 2 that time as Rodriguez brought him down.
This is the best red zone offense in football. What was kind of unique, last week's victory against Green Bay, they had the 2 explosive touchdowns, one to McCaffrey, the pass to Kittle, and they only had one red zone attempt, one red zone trip. And of course it was the game winner we talked about earlier with McCaffrey punching it into what was the eventual winning touchdown. So they got to get more red zone trips because they're excellent when they get there.
McCaffrey second and goal. Up and in. Touchdown San Francisco.
The key to goal line running is one offensive lineman has to distort the defense. Watch the left guard, Aaron Banks. Watch his ability to cut off Aleem McNeil. There's the cutback lane, right? Everyone else can tie. Takes one guy primarily on the backside to distort that defense. He cuts off one of the best interior run defenders in McNeil in the league, and that's a lot more like this 49ers offense.
Now Moody, who missed the field goal, hits the extra point, and the 49ers have answered. Well, death taxes and Christian McCaffrey scoring a touchdown. That's about how it goes, that he muscles it in. And San Francisco on the board, make it 14-7. Oh, it's a little light. Okay, they've had some experience there. Obviously, no Super Bowl appearances. 49ers, that goes to page 2 or 3 on the resume. They have been here before. 5 Super Bowl trophies, but not one since '94. And you want to talk about legends? How's this for a pregame hug? Barry Sanders and Joe Montana. They're honorary captains here tonight. Now, Christian McCaffrey, I mean, he's a touchdown machine. 24 touchdowns this year, most in team history, and it gets the 49ers on the board. With a 14-7 lead, Detroit, and now their ball again, get a chance for their third possession. And look at some more little skirmish here. Well, you heard Aaron before the game, right? All the physical stuff about Detroit and how they've been great and changed, but kind of were the original OGs here, and both these teams like that kind of play. Look at the yards per play for Detroit. Struck first on 4 plays on the opening drive. Here's Montgomery, a little stutter step right side. Spin move Montgomery on a first down. Oh, man. Running hard in this early going, and Montgomery's got 14.
Yeah, great job there. Graham Glasgow, the right guard. Really nice job against Eric Armstead, the defensive tackle. And no team plays with 4 down linemen more than San Francisco. It's the nature of matching your defense to what your offense does so well, which is score points. They defend the pass and play with a lead very often. When that's not the case, they have to hold up against the run.
Here's Montgomery, trick play. Flea flicker, Goff launching deep downfield, and it is incomplete. Way short that time. Reynolds was the intended receiver.
Tell you what, he had him. He had Reynolds. He was behind the defense, and I don't think Goff ever really got a chance. You're going to see they come in, he's going to delay, and he's going to hit it. So it's toss, throwback. Now watch Goff, he's kind of fiddling with the ball, and it kind of comes out on him like a little bit of a duck. He just never quite got the laces and couldn't get enough into it to get it out there.
Four-man rush. Protected again, Goff over the middle, and that is caught. No, incomplete. Amon-Ra St. Brown had his hands on it, but it's incomplete, and it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is strength for strength. The Detroit Lions, they own the middle of the field in their passing game. A lot of crossing routes and unders, but no team defends the middle of the field better than San Francisco. And Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, their 2 outstanding inside linebackers are the biggest reason why.
Third and 10. Goff back. Delivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Way to go. Makes a move, and he's got it. He had to work. He didn't have the first down after the catch, but he moves forward and picks it up.
And this is what Amon-Ra St. Brown has done since arriving here in Detroit. It's his ability to operate primarily out of the slot. He's the inside receiver, matched up mostly today against Diamondor Lenore, the slot corner. And again, another 3rd down pickup, Kev, where they threw it short of the sticks, and they trust their receivers both times now, Amon-Ra St. Brown, to pick up the first after the catch.
Here's Montgomery. He's had good success. This time upended right away. Deshaun Gibson got him before the line of scrimmage. Needed that because prior to that carry, 4 of the 9 for Detroit had gone for 10+ on the ground.
Yeah, and they needed that because coming off last week's game against Green Bay, that's the run scheme, the pin and pull with the wide receiver setting the edge and pulling the offensive linemen as escorts, that they struggled. They gave up a big run to Aaron Jones, and they worked all week. They knew they were going to be tested with that play.
Blitz coming. Goff in trouble, and down he goes. It's Nick Bosa.
All right, so watch this. So Penei Sewell originally sets, but when Dre Greenlaw blitzes, he has to come off Bosa. Bosa is the free rusher. Goff's got to get this ball out of his hand hot, most likely to the back, Jahmyr Gibbs.
3rd and 15. Goff over the middle, gets it to Laporta, who gets smoked by Greenlaw. Made the catch to the 46, but what a hit, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I think Greenlaw's, he kind of was on the receiving end of that blow. Watch his left shoulder go in. It's a great hit. You talk about, you said, owning the interior of the field. And their ability to tackle and limit yards after catch. 2 things they do well and 2 things that bode well against this Lions team. And you see they're giving Dre Greenlaw a lot of attention there, and they got to hope he's okay.
It was 2 interceptions last week for him, the hero. Meanwhile, keep an eye here for the Lions. No one fakes on punts more than them since Dan Campbell took over as head coach. 4th and 6.
And typically the guy that does it, right there. 42, Jalen Reeves-Maben. He's the faker, but look, they're in defense stay. This is the starting defense. There's no punt return unit here for San Francisco.
And so instead, Fox will punt it away. And McLeod calls fair catch, does so around the 11, and San Francisco takes over. So their D gets the first stop of the day, and they'll get it back, down 7. Game was on the line, led the 49ers down the field for the game-winning drive, and they won it. And he was huge on that final drive, as you saw. Here they're down 14 early, now they're down 7. Looking around and zips it into McCaffrey, who works his way across the 15. But concern for Dre Greenlaw. Aaron, what's going on?
49ers are saying Dre Greenlaw suffered a stinger right here after this tackle on Sam Laporta. But I got to tell you, he basically ran right out of the blue tent, joined his defense over on the sideline. Greg, remember we talked to Steve Wilkes. When Dre Greenlaw tackles you, what did you say? He's trying to run right through you. And we saw it perfectly right there.
Absolutely. And it's a big reason why, EA, that they dominate the interior and the middle of the field, both run and pass. Him and Fred Warner, that's about as good a duo as there is.
Samuel gets it on the jet sweep left, looking for a block from Kittle. Cuts up the field. Samuel breaks a couple of tackles, and he's got a first down. Just hard running for the 49ers, and Samuel making it work.
You talk about the explosive nature of this offense. When Deebo Samuel's on the field, over 7 yards per play. When he's not, 5.5. I mean, that is a significant difference with just the play of one guy when he's on the field versus off.
Here's Purdy, 4-man rush, zips it to Ayuk, but over his head, and it's incomplete. Well, the NASCAR season starts next Sunday with the Clash at the Coliseum, and on February 18th, the most iconic day in all of motorsports, the Daytona 500. And in breaking news, we're pleased to announce that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will serve as Grand Marshal, only on Fox. Can't wait. As these two teams battle for the right to go to Super Bowl 58. 14-7 Lions. We've got out to a rousing start, scoring on their first 2 drives, but San Francisco finally got a stop. And on second down, here's Purdy. Pressure up the middle. Lets it fly. Ayuk high again and incomplete. Pretty good coverage by Vildur there, but he had good pressure.
And the pressure is what caused that ball to sail. Comes in the interior here, and they're just going to run him. Kaminsky's just going to run the right guard, John Feliciano, right into the lap of Brock Purdy. And anytime a quarterback can't follow through and get up on his front foot after that throw, the ball tends to sail, and he misses high.
Third and 10, 4-man rush. Purdy in some trouble. Lets it go over the middle and is picked off. Rodriguez has it. Breaks the tackle and he's inside the 25. We get a penalty middle of the field too, so hang on. Temporarily, Rodriguez, remember, filling in for Derek Barnes, who left with a knee injury. And let's see if this is going to stand. It looks like maybe during the return. Let's find out.
Yeah, I think they're going to get this. I think it's going to be after the pick. I think it's going to be a blindside block on Detroit. So they'll maintain possession, but they'll mark this back 15, believe.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, return team, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down, Detroit.
Yeah, so take a look here. You'll see Josh Paschal, number 93. He's able to get his hand right there on Purdy upon release, and I think that's all he needed for that ball to kind of come out. Take a look here. Gets the ball, he gets his hand, and ball ends up hitting him. And now watch, this is the... Oh, yeah, these guys have history. That's C.J. Gardner-Johnson, him and Deebo Samuel. They've gone back and forth, and that's just a cheap shot behind the play. And it costs your team big time because that's marked off from the spot of the foul, so they don't get any of that return on the pick from Rodriguez.
So Rodriguez playing because of the injury to Barnes, who lost his starting job way earlier this year with a big interception. Now can the Lions take advantage? Here's Gibbs trying to sprint to the outside. Fred Warner out of nowhere takes him down.
Yeah, I mean, how many times can we talk about these guys? It feels like every game. Watch his ability to run through. He's not going to try to scrape over the top. He's going to run underneath the block of the right tackle, Penei Sewell, and man, might have gotten away here with a little tug on the face mask. Either way, that's a big-time tackle for loss, and they needed it.
By the way, Drake Greenlaw back in the game for the 49ers. Here's Goff over the middle. Laporta's wide open. He makes the catch, and he surges forward near a first down, and he should have it. You talked about the middle of the field. It's what San Francisco's D does best, but what Detroit's offense does best. So far, they're holding their own there.
Absolutely, and they're kind of trading blows. Again, a soft zone, second and real long. They're playing pass, but Goff's ability to be patient and just check it down, again, to a team that very similarly to San Francisco, they rely on the run after the catch. They don't throw the ball necessarily over your head all the time, but they're still able to produce explosive pass plays as a result.
They go jumbo formation here like they do a lot, and they're going to run it to Gibbs. Good cut, and then Warner's right there and had help as Gibbs going to pick up a couple. And Greenlaw said he was back in, comes on the hit. You know, Aaron was talking about Greenlaw too, and the stuff that Steve Wilkes told us. He said the thing about Dre is, you know, if you were a kid and you got picked on and you say, you know, need a little help, he wouldn't come and help you with the kid. He would take on the entire block.
Yeah, he's their enforcer. You know, Fred Warner, he's their star. Nick Bosa, he's the star. Drake Greenlaw, man, he's the glue. He's the guy you need on your defense. And he makes his presence felt on a weekly basis.
2nd and 7 for Goff. Back to throw, zips one. Oh, good adjustment. St. Brown's got a first down. That was a great catch. He's down to the 15.
In breaking routes, thought the safety, Jair Brown, the rookie, I thought he could have jumped it. They're playing kind of a quarters coverage on any in-breaking route like he ran there by Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's supposed to drive it, and kind of an inexperienced guy not trying to give up the big play, and that hesitation is all Goff needed to squeeze it in.
Now it's Gibbs trying to get to the edge, gets a block from Laporta, makes a man miss. Gibbs inside the 5, touchdown Detroit! KB, we talked coming in. They need to defend this play. Josh Reynolds, he sets the edge on Bosa, and now they can pull. Laporta's out in front. Glasgow, the right guard, and Jahmyr Gibbs, man, in the open field. He is a handful trying to bring down, and tell you what, we said there might be a shootout. I think we were on to something. Well, the Lions offense taking advantage of the Rodriguez interception, and the extra point is up and good. So it started with the defense. How big would they play? Got pressure in Purdy's face. Rodriguez playing because of injury with a pick. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, electric, scores. Lions back up by 2 touchdowns, and Dan Campbell is pumped.
I'm at the football.
Welcome back to the NFC Championship game presented by Intuit TurboTax. Look at Ford Field right now. There's no game going on there. That's the watch party going bananas for a 21-7 Lions lead. And then Drake Greenlaw, well, he's ticked. I mean, this Lions offense has pretty much done what they've wanted at the beginning, or since the beginning, and now that's why they've got this 2-touchdown lead. Look, we know how good this 49ers defense is. We also said how good this Lions offense is. They have been awesome today.
Yeah, and it's their ability, again, on the ground with the run game and generating explosive plays. It's exactly, we came into the game understanding that's what they needed to rely on, that's what they needed to do, and the question was, San Francisco, they're very good at a lot of things on defense, but when they don't play from a lead and they take a lot of rush attempts at them, they have shown that that's not necessarily the strength of that unit.
And so the 49ers with work to do. 5:54 to go in this first half. And here's Purdy. Over the middle and behind McCaffrey. It's incomplete.
I want to go back to something we talked about earlier, and I brought up Brian Branch, the rookie slot corner, and the decision Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, about how does he want to play San Francisco with all these weapons, with all these, their ability to be multiple with their formation variety. There's two ways. You either match personnel, meaning whoever San Francisco runs on the field, multiple receivers, multiple tight ends, you match accordingly. The way he's doing it is they're matching it by down and distance, regardless of who San Francisco has on the field. They're playing this for pass, and Branch is in the slot.
Here's McCaffrey, left side, and he is taken down. Nowhere to run that time. Jack Campbell, the rookie, was there, and these rookies have been just sensational for the Lions. You think about the contributions they've gotten from the young guys. It's amazing, right? And some of it they got critiqued for, but here's a rookie class. Gibbs, Laporta, Campbell, and Branch. They've all been fantastic. I mean, Gibbs over 1,000 scrimmage yards. Obviously, Laporta had an unbelievable year. He's playing on a hyperextended knee nonetheless. Made the Pro Bowl. And now Purdy, 3rd and long. Pressure comes, in trouble. Purdy looking, floating downfield. Ayuk diving, can't make the play.
We mentioned Purdy. The element he's brought to this offense in the last year and a half is he is a good scrambler and extending the plays. He's not a runner, but he's able to extend the plays as a passer, and I thought Ayuk had it. I thought it was actually pretty good effort there to give him a chance by Purdy, and just couldn't quite pull it in.
Donovan Peoples-Jones back to return the punt. Khalif Raymond remains out. He's had a knee injury the last few games. And now Wisnowski to punt it away. Peoples-Jones from the 20. And makes a man miss, and then gets body slammed by Warner, the backup tight end. So the Lions trying to get to the Super Bowl for the first time. Playing great, up 2 touchdowns, and those two have got to figure it out. About right, his 3rd year, he's got his team in the championship game. Greg, we asked him this week, how important was it for you for this team to embody the city of Detroit? He said, it was always an important process. It just felt like the match for me, and they've played like it all year long. Up 21-7 in this conference championship game, and they got the ball back with 4:59 to go in the half.
Hey, tackle over. This is Penei Sewell. He reported as eligible. Skipper reported as ineligible.
They're going to run it here, and Montgomery on that right side. I feel like Lions fans, we almost need to do that every time.
I just want to make sure we're clear.
Just tell everyone.
Make sure we're clear. Because you see Skipper, he comes on the field, as you said earlier, a million times. But sometimes he has to report to be the tight end, be the end man on the line or in the backfield. But in that case, he just came in and played right tackle. And then Penei Sewell, he was the eligible. It's eerily familiar to the famous 2-point try. We're not going to bring it up.
Well, there's Sewell in motion, who's about as an athletic big man as they have in the league. Montgomery up the middle, now cuts left, and a strong run, and another first down for this Lions run game. It's going to put them up over 120 rushing yards on the day. And this offense is humming, and they have been really for 2 years behind Ben Johnson, who according to all reports, looks like he may be getting the Washington Commanders head coaching job. But when he took over the offensive coordinator position, this offense really hit their gear.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that sticks out, their secret sauce is they can play any style. They can play run heavy like we've seen today. And a week ago against Tampa, they came out, threw the ball 46 times.
Stay on the run game with Montgomery with a nice seam on the right side and another big run. He's out near a first down. He's going to pick up 9.5. Well, Jared Goff, about Ben Johnson, said he listens to his players and adapts to what we do well. What they're doing well today is running the ball. It's the most rush yards against a Kyle Shanahan 49ers team ever. Got 133 rushing yards in the first half.
Yeah, we had a feeling they were going to try it. And, Ben Johnson, you see that quote from Goff, and that's the ultimate sign of a good coach is your philosophy, your style of offense is irrelevant until you know what kind of players you have.
Here's a fake. Goff, a lot of time, just dumps it over the middle. Montgomery's got the first, and then Warner comes up to hit him down to the 45.
Penei Sewell, he thought he was going to get himself. He chips Randy Gregory. He thought he was going to get himself a first down conversion there in the left flat, but
he's got one career catch.
Yeah, hey, he thought he was going to get one there in the middle of the field. And listen, this entire series, he's been an eligible player, and you see him here again, lined up off the ball.
In motion. How many teams run their right tackle in motion all the time? It's wild. First and 10, and they're going to run it to Gibbs, right side, and he gets dragged down. Chase Young with a nice play.
So back to Ben Johnson, and when you look back at his history as a play caller, you can't really trace his roots. He doesn't come from the Shanahan tree or the McVay tree. He does a lot of similar things, but he's really built this offense around his players in Miami and now here in Detroit, and it's not a mystery why he's been one of the hottest head coaching candidates of the last 2 hiring cycles.
2-minute warning in this first half. All Lions stunning the 49ers 21-7 in the championship game. Here's Goff. Late pressure. Back foot throw deep for Laporta, and it's out of bounds and incomplete. Well, we mentioned about the run game against San Francisco. In this first half, what the Lions have done has been impressive. 131 yards. It's the most in the Kyle Shanahan era.
And right now, if you're Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilks, you see him there, the defensive coordinator, you need to stop. You got to take advantage of owning this last possession of the first half. They, of course, won the toss and deferred to try to control this middle 4 of the game. And it's a big stop here to get the ball back on offense, hoping to double dip before and after the halftime break.
3rd and long. Gonna hand off Gibbs. He's got a seam. Gibbs racing to the sticks. He's got the first down. They've handed off on 3rd and 12, and they picked it up.
Well, what did we say in the first quarter? No team runs the ball more on 3rd and pass than the Detroit Lions, because what are you thinking if you're the defense? We got to play pass. Best pass rushers, play soft shell. And they know even if they're stopped short, between the 40s, they're in 4-down territory. It all plays into the philosophy of Dan Campbell, and you saw a great example of it there.
Another jumbo formation. This time it's Dan Skipper who's eligible. On the fake. Pressure on Goff. He's in trouble, and Bosa's got his 2nd sack of the day. And we get a timeout as well. And with that, we'll be right back.
Yeah, I think you can keep him here behind the sticks. That sack really changes the approach for Shanahan. Now he's going to try to use those timeouts on defense. Try to keep as much time on the clock as possible to steal a possession before the half.
Little draw to Gibbs, trying to get outside, and this time he's not going to get there. Greenlaw and a host of others, and now they're going to use their 2nd timeout with 1:38 to go in a 3rd and long. Well, the NFL Pro Bowl games are presented by Verizon, and heading to Orlando. The Peyton Manning coach AFC faces off against Eli Manning's NFC squad in the Skills Showdown Thursday on ESPN. Then action continues with the AFC, NFC flag football and more skills next Sunday on ESPN and ABC. 3rd and 18 with 1:38 to go in this first half.
It's a great job. Of course, it started on that first down sack, beating Dan Skipper with Bosa, and him being able to force that loss now allowed Kyle Shanahan to get back into this more aggressive style before the half. You got to imagine Ben Johnson's either calling a really high percentage completion pass, or he's just going to hand the ball off to Gibbs, but they want to make San Francisco use their last timeout.
Here's Goff, 4-man rush, steps up, zips it over the middle of St. Brown. He's got a first down. A 3rd and 18 conversion and a dart from Goff to St. Brown. Wow.
Well, it was a high percentage throw. It's just a little deeper than we thought. Jamison Williams, he took the top off and he carried the safety, Jair Brown, and that's exactly the hole that St. Brown was able to find. And man, that is just a backbreaker right there. You're San Francisco. you got a chance to get the ball back to your offense before the half, and we've seen Goff operate as well as you can from a clean pocket.
Now it's the run game with Gibbs up the middle, and he slips down and right around the 15-yard line. I mean, they've converted a 3rd and 18 and a 3rd and 12. There's now time ticking under a minute, and Detroit full 3 timeouts. They can do whatever they want. Three rushing touchdowns for the Lions today. And now we get a timeout on the field. We'll be right back after this message from AT&T.
3rd down conversion. Watch Brown here. He gets taken deep, and then this is the hole St. Brown finds. Watch, so he's got to cut the crosser, and once he turns his back, that's the trigger Goff needs to throw right there to St. Brown.
But by the way, the timeout on the field replay came in and moved the spot back, so there is a runoff on the clock. But the Lions have all 3 timeouts and 35 seconds left, so they have it all at their disposal here. When they're 4 or 5 on 3rd down, they've got 268 yards. See St. Brown with the biggie there. 21-7 Detroit.
Detroit is elected to take the 10-second runoff from 57 seconds down to 47 seconds.
Okay, so there it is.
The play clock, we put at 30 seconds.
So they'll reset it, and obviously they can afford to take the runoff with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, at this point, it's more important for them to keep the 3 timeouts in their pocket than the extra 10 seconds. So it would have been 57 seconds with 2 timeouts or 47 seconds with 3.
Goff looking, firing, and oh no, he just missed his man. Gibbs was open and just a little too far in front.
You see Goff. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but man, he knew he had Gibbs. They bring Gibbs all the way here, and he's the middle. It's cover 2, 2 high safeties. He just runs a little, we used to call it ricochet. He runs right at Fred Warner and takes it deep. Everyone can read lips at home and realize he knows he lost one there.
Third down, Goff fires far side. St. Brown again, another first down. They are doing whatever they want on 3rd down, Greg.
Yep, Amon-Ra St. Brown working against Diamondor Lenore in the slot, and this is an area of the San Francisco defense, for all the things they do so exceptionally well, they're in the bottom handful, 25th in the league on 3rd down defense this year, and we've seen 3 huge long conversions on this drive alone.
49ers defense with no answers so far. And here's Goff. Again, time. Floats one for the corner, and it's incomplete. Laporta, the intended receiver. Pretty good coverage by Ward with 24 seconds to go. You can put any caption you want with those pictures. They're looking for an answer. They don't have one right now.
Yeah, it starts. They got to get a stop here. They got to bow up. They need Bosa, Fred Warner. They need one of their superstars to keep this thing in check here going into the half.
Gonna run it to Gibbs up the middle. Not much there, if anything. And Lions will use their first time out. You know, meanwhile, Jared Goff is having a very nice first half to complement this run game, and it's a homecoming for him. You say, I mean, just think about his life. Grew up in Nevada. It's just across the Golden Gate Bridge, north of San Francisco, and he's been here his entire life. He was a star at Marin Catholic High School, and then attended Cal, where he was a star and became the #1 overall pick. So he said about maybe 50 people coming to the game to support him in a homecoming and a chance to take a second team back to the Super Bowl. Grew up a 49ers fan. He wears 16 for Joe Montana. I want to talk about symmetry. 3rd goal here. Setting up a screen. Gibbs fell down, gets up to get it, runs into his own man, and is stopped short. Down to about the 2.5 with 10 seconds to go. Dan Campbell goes for it all the time.
I was just going to say, would you, if there's one guy in the league that you don't just assume you see the field goal unit run on in this situation, it's got to be Dan Campbell.
Since he was hired, he's got the most fourth down attempts and the most fourth down conversions in the last 3 years.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be pretty interesting. The kicker hasn't run on yet, and Goff in this offense, they're still in the huddle. He's looking to put a dagger in this San Francisco defense. Oh, now he changed his mind. All right.
We set up the narrative.
I'll tell you what, though. I don't know if there's a lot of other guys in the league that we would even consider it, but I think with the way this game has gone, I'm all about fourth downs. I think with the lead being what it is and a chance to make it a 3-score game, I get it. Yeah, now the thing is, you got to be careful now if you're San Francisco. Do they go two-hand, try to get somebody to jump, and then it changes it because it puts the ball half the distance.
And here's Badgley from 21, and he buries it. So it's 24-7, a 17-point lead for the Lions on the road behind Dan Campbell. And whatever he has done here, it's been just incredible. You ask the players about him. That's all you need to do, right? Jared Goff said he's the greatest leader I've been around. Pretty high praise. Frank Ragnow, the center, he loves his guys. Can't say enough about him. He's the man. And how about Lee McNeil, the big defensive tackle? He was born to do this. His passion and love for the game. I mean, he played the last 3 years of his career in Detroit. He knows about the passion of the city. He said he and his wife loved it there. And you think about it, Greg, they started 0-10 the first year. So it takes some resiliency to come back from that. Then in 2022, they finished 9-8. They were 1-6.
There was multiple opportunities in those first 2 years for ownership to lose faith in the vision and the approach of Dan Campbell and the general manager Brad Holmes. And in a day and age where it seems like coaches are given shorter and shorter leashes to turn programs around, you have to give them a lot of credit, believing in the vision, believing there was going to be some tough times. And see Brad Holmes there, the general manager there in the back, and their vision, they've executed it close to perfection.
Yeah, it sure has. And this first half has been close to perfection as Ray McLeod going to take it out, look to make something happen at the end of this half. And Ray McLeod has a little seam, and we get a penalty, multiple penalties on this play. There's only been one penalty in this game. It's been nice. Well done by this Cleat Blakeman All-Star crew. This will be the second if it's Lions are ready to move on off the field. Looks like San Francisco almost is as well and regroup. Remember, the 49ers will get the ball. And we'll sort this out.
There are 2 seconds left on the game clock. During the return, holding. Return team number 30. It's a 10-yard penalty, and it's first down.
That's on George Odom, their special team star. So 2 seconds on the clock. Can't imagine that Kyle Shanahan will do anything here. And Kyle Shanahan has to go and figure out some answers. The 49ers trying to get back to the Super Bowl. Been here the last 2 years in the conference title game and lost. The Lions are 30 minutes away from their first ever trip. And we hit the half with a 17-point Detroit lead. And the hero's journey, brought to you by Kung Fu Panda 4 in theaters March 8th, brings us to the quarterback comparison. Jared Goff, very efficient, especially on third down. Brock Purdy's had his troubles. Interception on his arm, hit the one time. That led to Christian McCaffrey. He's being outrushed by 3 different Detroit Lions. Their offense is humming.
It has, and they're only averaging, right? So we talked about this personnel match, that kind of back and forth between Shanahan and Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator. So far, the Lions have played a lot of base personnel, and that's where we said they're susceptible to the passing game. They continue to run it. They're only averaging 2 yards per carry in that situation. So expect in this second half get the ball in McCaffrey's hand through the air. Keep them in base defense, but throw it earlier in the possessions and try to get back to some of that downfield explosive pass that has really been your calling card all season long.
I mean, 280 yards in the first half by the Lions. But the 49ers will get it first. Certainly could use a good drive to get back in the game as McLeod will watch it go over his head. We go downstairs to Aaron.
Let's talk about defense first, and where do you find an answer on it? Kyle Shanahan saying we're just giving up way too much space in our zone. We need to find a way to close it down. That's why Jared Goff has been picking us apart. And then when we do get to Goff, we can't get him down. We missed the tackle. Then 3rd and long, Detroit has found a way for explosive plays. Offensively, he said, we got to come out fast. I said, how do you get in a rhythm? He said, we got to score right away.
Yeah, you don't want to get into hyperbole here, but this feels like a pretty big drive the way this game has gone for the 49ers. Started out with McCaffrey on the right side with a good run. McCaffrey surging forward. He's got nearly 9. Downstairs we go to Tom.
Dan Campbell with a lot of energy coming out for the second half. Said he thought long and hard about whether to go for the touchdown at the end of the first half, but, quote, we were just a smidge too far, so he decided to kick it. Most pleased with the offensive line and the space and time they've been able to give the run game and in protecting Jared Goff. His message to his team coming back out, we have to finish this game.
Purdy over the middle, and Samuel in stride, and Deebo Samuel. A strike from Purdy down to the 41.
Right on cue. Under center, first down, play action pass in the middle of the field. That is their formula. That's what makes this offense so hard to handle, and expect more of that here in the second half.
They're getting Samuel involved, his 3rd reception today. Purdy on the fake. Blitz is picked up. Samuel one-on-one. Breaks a tackle. Deebo surging forward and shoved out of bounds right before the first down marker, I believe. Got right around Cam Sutton that time.
Again, open field tackling, not the strength of this unit. And man, it's just highlighted even more when you have guys like Deebo and McCaffrey and Kittle. And this is the energy. This looks like the 49ers offense that we've seen throughout the course of the season, and they got to try to finish this drive and get themselves back in this game.
On the fake, here's a flip. Samuel in some trouble in the backfield, and he is brought down for a loss. Josh Paschal read it the entire time, and that's a big play for the Lions defense.
Now think back to the touchdown in the first quarter. We showed that Bosa ran down here, but now watch Paschal. He doesn't close so fast, and now he's able to set an edge. So give credit there. That's a nice job stopping what they're trying to do there by San Francisco, creating an explosive on 2nd and short and force 3rd down. Man defense, Gardner Johnson and Branch both in the game together.
Purdy thinking about running for it, not going to get there, back across his body. Oh, one-handed catch, Juwan Jennings. And it's a first down.
Kind of breaks the first cardinal rule of playing quarterback is don't throw the ball over the middle late back across your body. But I'll tell you right now, they're searching for answers. They're searching for plays. And Juwan Jennings, he came up with a big one there.
Broke about 1 million rules, but that was a great play.
Yeah, remember, you heard Aaron tell us he was in the tent earlier getting evaluated. So obviously he's cleared and makes one of the biggest plays for this 49ers offense here to start the second half.
So the drive continues. It's McCaffrey now dancing around and maybe a yard. I'm not sure how this was a completion, to be honest.
Take a look here. Juwan Jennings, he starts way out here on the far left side of your screen. Man coverage, nowhere to go, and it was just the late scramble of Purdy, and Aaron Glenn's like, man, we had him. Look, he said, man, we had him. Everyone was covered.
You sure that's what he said?
I'm
not so sure.
This is a family show, KB. This is a family show.
2nd and 8. Blitz coming. Purdy in trouble. Floats it out. and that could have been intercepted. Oh boy, let that one go, and it was high and out of bounds, but Branch was in the vicinity, and so it brings up third down. So the last two, both times Purdy's let go, I said, oh, one was caught. That one could have been the other way. Another blitz picked up. Purdy delivers deep over the middle, too high. Trying to get it to Jennings, and now he's down hurt. And he was open. And now here comes the field goal team. Now keep in mind, Moody missed from 48 earlier today.
It just kind of sailed that one. Christian McCaffrey had an awesome blitz pickup off the left side, and Purdy had plenty of time to step up and just kind of sailed it. I think if he's able to put that ball more on a line, he has Jennings open there in the middle of the field.
So now it's Moody trying to get it back to a 14-point deficit from 43. And it's drilled right down the middle. So good on the rookie to get back in stride. 49ers get some points on the opening drive. Make it 24-10.
Well, I think that's the real question. Is it wasn't a home game. They brought him from Detroit, presumably, or maybe they sourced one here in California. I think there's a lot of unknowns there.
They sourced one. By the way, I said Barry Sanders. I meant Billy Sims. Barry's here. Here's Laporta. Laporta's got a first down. And a good start for these Lions. There's no real Lion on the field here today, just the team themselves. Look at the postseason by record for the 49ers, right? In this round, they've had their most trouble, right? Obviously, they've won 5 Super Bowls, but they've had trouble getting there. 19 times they've played in this round. This being the 19th, they've lost 11 of them.
And the key in this second half is they got to tighten up on defense. They've got to get some stops and give their offense a chance.
Might get out to Montgomery here, who works his way out up to the 45.
All right, so I think if you're Steve Wilks and your San Francisco defense, you're coming out of the half, you're saying, okay, we got to do 2 things. Number one, clearly, with a 14-point, with Detroit having a 14-point lead, they have to stop giving up the chunk runs.
Yep.
Right? You can let them nickel and dime you, but it's the explosive runs that have put them behind the 8 ball, and then they've got to get some pressure on Goff. First pressure, he's 1 of 6. No pressure, 11 of 13. They might have to consider some blitz, even though that's not really one of the staples of this defense.
And this is going to be on San Francisco.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 98. It's a 5-yard penalty. Yardage is enough for a first down.
Let me ask you this. They're not a man defense team. Do they have to go to that? Would they go to that, and would that help?
I think so. I think you heard Kyle told Aaron at half there's so much space in their zone. So I think they've got 2 options. I think they've got to be able to create some pressure. And if it doesn't come from 4, you got to add some other guys to the mix. And then can't be afraid in certain situations to just match man and take a chances with your secondary matchup.
Sticking with the run, it's Montgomery up the middle. And again, the run game stays huge for the Lions. Montgomery with about 7 more on the ground. Well, we told you the last time the Lions won a road game in the playoffs, it was 1957. It's also the most points they've had in a half in 1957. In that game against San Francisco, they scored 4 or 5 times, one of them on the help of an interception by Malcolm Rodriguez. They've got 309 yards already in this game. Montgomery again a big hole. Montgomery's got a first down easily and works his way down near the 36.
And let's give some credit here to this Detroit Lions offensive line. I mean, David Montgomery on that little counter G scheme, he wasn't touched. I mean, there was not a San Francisco defender near him until he was 4 or 5 yards through the hole. I mean, they are a good group, and obviously Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, their left and right tackle, they get a lot of the recognition, but man, you got to give credit to these guys inside.
Here's the play fake. This is where they take a shot. Goff looking to do so for Laporta, and he overthrew him just a little bit.
Well, they got the look. They're trying to run Laporta on a little high 7 route. You see Amon-Ra St. Brown, he takes the real deep 7. And Laporta, he's got the second underneath, and he had a step on Dre Greenlaw, and Goff just puts a little too much air on it. You know, back to your question about man, it's worth noting, last year, week 16, Steve Wilkes, the interim head coach of the Panthers at the time, played this Detroit Lions. He played them 87% zone. So far today, no snaps a man.
Throw it over the middle. It's Laporta again, who gets it down to the 30. He's got a pickup of 6. Laporta and St. Brown, those have been the top two targets all year, and it continues. Laporta's 6 for 67 now. St. Brown 5 for 73. And we told you at the half, 3 Lions have outrushed the league's leading rusher. Pretty amazing numbers. 3rd down and 4 here.
Remember what we said about 3rd down run approach. This is one of those prime opportunities. St. Brown lined up here in the backfield.
They give it to St. Brown up the middle, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is short. But again, a reminder, Dan Campbell goes for it more than anyone. Did kick a field goal on that 4th and goal situation at the end of the first half.
Well, here you go. That's why you do it. You only run on 3rd and 5. If you've already made up your mind, you're going for it on 4th and 2.
Goff to throw it. Here comes pressure. Escapes. Fires over the middle, and it is incomplete. He got out of a sack but couldn't connect with Reynolds, and the 49ers get a big stop on D. Goff trying to connect to Reynolds. He had it, couldn't bring it in. And San Francisco with a big play. Campbell bummed. Yeah, aerial coverage provided by Jeep tonight. Lions 24, 49ers 10. San Francisco ball after getting a big stop on 4th and 2. There's Purdy to throw. Set it up to Samuel. Looking for a couple blocks. Gets it. Deebo Samuel turns on the speed. Breaks a couple tackles, and the crowd comes to life as he get out across the 45. Back to the 4th down, Greg.
Yeah, so we talked about the difference between Goff under pressure versus a clean pocket, and you'll see the second he hits his back foot, that pressure from Bosa just moves him up the pocket off his spot enough. And listen, Reynolds got to catch that ball, but that movement in the pocket is just enough to make it a more difficult catch, and they're able to get off the field there on 4th down.
Yeah, the injured Lion here is Kirby Joseph, their starting safety, who's had a great first 2 years in the league. 8 interceptions his first 2 years. And they work on him now, hoping he can get right. You know, meanwhile, Greg, with Joseph down, this is their secondary, right? I mean, Brock Purdy's only 11 of 21 for 153 yards. We talked about the secondary has been the weak link the last really 5 weeks. They've really held up today. They've done a pretty decent job considering what it's been like the last couple games.
Absolutely. I mean, you look back, I mean, since just week 16 in the league, no one has given up more passing yards than the Detroit Lions, and that's really continued here in the playoffs. I mean, they gave up 350 to Baker Mayfield, 367 to Matthew Stafford. Dak Prescott, week 17, 345. I mean, it's been a team you can pass on, and thus far, you got to give them credit. They've done a nice job.
Gardner Johnson in for Joseph, who leaves. Here's Purdy with a lot of time. Steps into one. Launching deep, going for Brandon Ayuk. It is. Oh, he caught it off the ricochet. Penalty. Is he in? He's down to the 5. We'll see what the penalty is. What a play from Ayuk. We'll see if it stands.
I'll tell you what, this is the best play they've made all day, and oh man, Kendall Vindor, he had one, it hit him right in the face mask. And then, man, give credit there to Brandon Ayuk just staying with the play and catching it off the deflection.
There is no foul in the play. The catch was made, and the runner is down at the contact at the 4.5-yard line. First down, San Francisco.
Well, you see he was touched. It's a 51-yard bounce and catch to Ayuk.
Yeah, Vildor did a nice job. He cut off the receiver. he was able to make a play on the ball. That's why they picked the flag up, and it just hit him in the face. Now the question is, was he touched?
He was.
Okay.
Vildor on the way to the ground got his hand up and got him.
Got it.
You'll see, let's see, right there.
Oh, there you go. Great shot there, man. What a good shot. But
so the 49ers get a big break. Can they cash in? 1st and goal. McCaffrey will get it. He is slammed down to the ground. Brian Branch came up from the secondary, made a great play.
Yeah, Ayuk, he's in charge of cutting this backside gap off, but Branch is just going to hit it. And from that stance, in a 2-point receiver stance, he can't get off the ball fast enough. And they love bringing Brian Branch. They did it a lot last week against Tampa Bay in the divisional round, and he got home a lot, both run and pass.
Second and goal. Blitz coming again. Purdy delivers incomplete. Tried to get it to Ayuk, but Cam Sutton was there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Is this 4-down territory?
Feels like I think they got to try to treat it as such, and it changes your play here on 3rd down. You're not afraid to throw the ball underneath. Very eerily reminiscent of what we've talked about from Detroit. If you throw the ball short of the goal line, even if you get stopped, you give yourself a better chance. I don't love 4th and 7 necessarily. I'd be a lot more comfortable inside the 5.
Here's Purdy. Looking, firing end zone. Caught! Ayuk! Touchdown!
Now, this is just a big-time route by the guy who gave them the spark, Brandon Ayuk. Watch this little stutter. He sells outside. Cam Sutton's the corner, number 1. Moves off his spot just enough to buy some time, but that's a big-time drive there by San Francisco, spearheaded by 2 monster plays by Brandon Ayuk in the passing game.
Now Moody for the point after. And the 49ers with 10 points in this 3rd quarter. Back in this game, Brandon Ayuk off the bounce, hauls it in, and then he got the touchdown right after that. And San Francisco down by 7 in this championship. That was a big sequence for the 49ers. They stopped Detroit on 4th and 2 defensively, and then the 51-yard play to Brandon Ayuk, who later scored on the 6-yard catch. And it's a 7-point game here in Santa Clara in this NFC championship with plenty of time to go, and that has got the crowd alive and back into it. And Moody, kind of a sideways kick, and it hits off of the defender, and back in the end zone it goes. Antoine Green. Lions will take over. Earlier today, Commissioner Roger Goodell surprising 4th grader Adrian McIntyre and his dad Joel Gallardo with tickets to the Super Bowl. Adrian's a 4th grade student in Eric Armstead's hometown of Sacramento. For 2 years, he participated in the Armstead Academy after-school program focused on academic achievement and literacy, funded by Eric's foundation, the Armstead Academic Project. Here is Gibbs. Up the middle, he runs into a wall, and the ball came out. Ball is loose. Who's got it? 49ers recover. Eric Armstead came up with it on the Gibbs fumble.
Yeah, so take a look here at the exchange. He's on the wrong side. The back went the wrong way. Goff was kind of confused there. You see he had the wrong hand up, and he just never really gets the ball put away. You can tell that he's on the wrong side, because watch, he's going to put his left arm. That was messed up from the jump, and typically when things start out bad in the NFL, they get worse.
Wow, what a turn of events. This game has turned around on a dime. From from the 24. Purdy, quick throw. Kittle, his first catch of the day. Upended immediately by Sutton. Well, that's a nice tackle. Kittle had only one target before that catch, but not allowed to get going.
Yeah, they got to find a way to get Kittle going. He had that big explosive touchdown to get him on the board last week against the Packers, and man, he's had quite the year. He's been known for a long time as, you know, he does a lot of the dirty work, but man, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver numerous times in his career, and he added another one to that list this year. He's as good as it gets in the NFL at the tight end position.
Kirby Joseph back in for the Detroit secondary, by the way. Here's Purdy. Looking around, pressure, steps up, gonna run, has a little room. Purdy with a nice move, first down. Purdy's still going, staying on his feet, down to the 5, and it's 1st and goal for the Niners.
Well, this crowd's starting to come alive here. You're gonna see Purdy, he hits his back step, and the middle of the field just is completely open. What? There's no one in there. Great job here by Debo and Kittle giving him a lead block, and his first read's not there. He just decides to tuck it, and he's not the most athletic guy in the world, but I'll tell you what, man, he has been good this year extending plays with his feet.
1st and goal, Samuel on the carry. Debo Samuel is taken down at around the 1.
Nice job on the edge. You want to run on the perimeter. You run behind Trent Williams, the left tackle, and George Kittle, who was lined up there on his hip. That's two of the better guys in the league to base your run game behind, and find themselves down there tight inside the 2.
49ers go 3 tight ends here. 2nd and goal. McCaffrey's going to get it, and he walks in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Well, you want to see a clinic of how to run power gap scheme? Colton McKivitz, George Kittle, Charlie Warner, down, 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 kick out, touchdown.
And now it's Moody to tie. We're tied. 17-point lead gone. Brand new game here at Santa Clara as Christian McCaffrey has his 2nd tonight, and this NFC Championship all tied up at 24. Man, it is bumping in here. 49ers just erased a 17-point lead in 8 total minutes in a series of wild plays, and we're all tied at 24 in this championship game. And now we're going to find out a lot about the Lions. Greg, so how do you lose a 17-point lead at 8 minutes? A lot of crazy stuff, man. I mean, a lot has happened here. I mean, you're talking about balls bouncing off people's faces, going for it on 4th down, fumbles.
Yeah, you go 4th down fail, 51-yard completion off the face mask of the defender, fumble.
That's how.
That's how.
How do the Lions respond? With Montgomery getting the ball, and there's nothing there. Chase Young with the hit.
I think right now, if you're Ben Johnson trying to settle down this offense here in the 2nd half, you got to be careful you don't just go into a shell, right? The stadium's coming to life. Seems like all the momentum's on the sideline of San Francisco. Get back to some of those crossers. Get back to some of the play actions that we saw them have such success with in the 1st half.
Here is Goff. Has a little time. Guns it over the middle of Laporta. And is it incomplete? It is. He had it initially, but absorbed a big hit from Gibson. And it's 3rd down.
Yeah, great play. Watch the shot here by Gibson. He puts it right on the ball. Laporta has no chance of putting that ball away, and we've said it time and time again, both of these teams want to own the middle of the field, and that's tough territory there for San Francisco. Charvarius Ward in the slot, playing man coverage.
Blitz coming. Goff over the middle, and it's dropped! Oh, it was a first down gimme, and Reynolds could not hang on. The second big drop for him in the second half.
Well, that was the wrinkle. There's the man coverage. Charvarius Ward going in motion with St. Brown, gave it away, and he's wide open. I mean, Reynolds beats the Amador Lenore, and the ball just hit him in the stomach.
I mean, it's a perfect throw from Goff. And the 49ers force a 3 and out. Fox to punt it away. It's a rocket. Oh my goodness, look at this kick. It bounces at the 5, and a Lions bounce. And do they go in the end zone? Sure look like it. Let's see. They're going to discuss it. Certainly looked like it got in, and it does. Wow, a golden opportunity for Detroit to down it at the 2, but it goes in the end zone. There's the opportunity, and Lucas, you see, stepped in. 49ers get a break. They've had a couple of them. Tie game here in Santa Clara. Western Conference playoffs, the 49ers led by that same score at the half that the Lions won.
Can we talk about that 49er logo?
The logos
that was incredible. We need to do a throwback of that.
Here's Purdy on first down. Late blitz coming. In trouble. Purdy stays up on his feet somehow, and now throws it and has a completion. How in the world did that work? Juszczyk kept the toes in.
Wow. Wow, what a job by Purdy. But let's take a look real quick here. That's textbook, man. That is a fullback tap dancing there on the sideline. And then look, Afatu Melifonwu, he had a sack and a half last week in their divisional round win over the Bucks. They use him in pressure quite a bit. And Brock Purdy, again, escaping, buying time. Scramble drill. They've created some of their best plays off of it today.
Now it's McCaffrey. Dances to the right and then back up the middle and then gets hit but keeps on going. Absorbed the hit from Joseph. And McCaffrey's got nearly 8 yards. It's been tough sledding for McCaffrey. He's averaging just over 3 yards a carry. The interesting thing is we've done enough 49er games ago. They don't care. He could have 2 yards, 1 yard, 3 yards, 2 yards, and then 50 yards.
Well, that's what's unique about San Francisco. While most teams abandon the run at certain times when they're not getting a lot of efficiency, it's the explosive component. The 49ers don't run the ball because it's 5 yards, 4 yards. They run it because, to your point, every once in a while he breaks one for 40 like he did last week against Green Bay.
Got 8 there, 2nd and 2, gets it again. McCaffrey first down. Up to the 44. And that may take us to the end of this third quarter. '49ers look like they're in no rush. 2 touchdowns for McCaffrey. A 17-point third quarter for San Francisco. What was once a big deficit, now all tied up. Let's see if they will run one more play here.
Yeah, you see a lot of teams try to go hard count and see if they can get somebody to jump.
What'd you say?
We've done this before.
You're pretty good at this.
We can do this.
And so we've hit the end of the third, this NFC Championship. All tied up. Can't wait for the fourth. The largest comeback in NFC Championship history, 17 points. Ironically, the 49ers did it back in 2012. They were down 17 at the half. And it sets up for what should be a fun fourth quarter. 49ers on the move, get it to Deebo Samuel, who is hit and is taken down. A nice play for Vildor to hang on and not allow Samuel to get anywhere. Greg, in the third quarter, each team had 3 possessions. Detroit, 4th down stop, fumble, 3 and out. San Francisco, field goal, touchdown, touchdown.
Well, that's how things change, right? Things can change fast in the NFL. And we mentioned, we thought this was a race to 30. We're getting pretty close. The value of every possession is just critical, and no more so here in the fourth quarter. You find yourself 24 all square. Each team's got to take advantage of possessing the ball and maximize every opportunity with it.
Second down. There's Purdy. Looking, throwing deep down the side. George Kittle in stride. He's got a big first down to the 30. His second catch.
Wow, it's a big time. He's going to sell the over, and then he's going to hit it back out. Man coverage here. Fatu Malafanu, number 6. See how he sells that? It's a little sail route. You sell the cross, you stick your inside foot, you just make a beeline for the sideline. Mentioned how important Kittle is to this offense and getting him going here in the second half. Make note, there's a lot of base defense. We told you how susceptible in the past they are.
Here's McCaffrey, hurdling people inside the 25, works his way down to the 23.
Yeah, so just follow up on that. So in the first half, we told you that they were matching based on down and distance. So 1st and 10, whatever they determine is pass downs versus run downs. It had no bearing of who San Francisco had in the game. Now, there's been a big flip from Aaron Glenn. They're matching the personnel. So when they have Juszczyk, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, that's their 21 personnel, right? 2 backs, 1 tight end. Brock Purdy now has been 5 of 6 for 175 against base personnel.
And looks like we get a timeout on the field here as play clock winding down, and we will get it. San Francisco calls their first timeout. Well, you look at this third quarter. This is 4th and 2, and that was a catchable ball by Reynolds. And then this, off the face, caught for 51 yards. A couple plays later, Ayuk with the touchdown. Then this big Gibbs fumble. They turn that into a McCaffrey touchdown, his second of the game, and all momentum has completely changed. And really is not only just the momentum in the score, but it feels like almost the 49ers groove on offense. That catch, that Ayuk catch, just felt like it changed the whole thing.
It just takes one play. One play can change the fortunes very quickly.
2nd and 6 here.
So see, they're in 11 personnel, 4 down, 2 linebackers.
Purdy to throw it. Blitz coming. Steps away, room to run, gonna take it. Purdy sprinting inside the 15 and diving forward for a first down. It's the second big run he's had in this half.
I mean, no one's going to mistake Purdy for Lamar Jackson, but I'll tell you, he has made as many plays with his feet. Great job there, Trent Williams. He picks up the corner cat blitz of Cam Sutton, and again, he is getting to his back foot, and if his first read isn't there, the middle of the field is wide open. The interior tackles need to do a better job. See here now, 5 down, 3 linebackers. Base defense.
It's impressive counting. Speed. Here's Purdy on the play fake. Look at end zone, it's not there. Pressure coming. Purdy is sacked. Nice job by the secondary, and then it led to the sack by Tyson Alualu.
Yeah, I think this one's on Purdy. He's got to get this ball out of his hand. He gets the one-on-one matchups that he wants. Nice job there in the back end by Detroit, but this is good protection. I mean, they've got everybody accounted for on the blitz, and that ball needs to be thrown out of the back of the end zone over everybody's head or at somebody's feet. He cannot take that sack and force 2nd and long.
Big time for the first sack for the Lions. Lost him 7 yards. 4-man rush, Purdy in trouble. Purdy sacked again. No sacks for the entire game, but now on back-to-back plays as Lee McNeil delivers.
Well, Lee McNeil, he's kind of had a breakout rushing the passer. You see him here working against the right guard, Feliciano. He's really been known as a run stopper. But this year, he hit 5 sacks in the regular season, and none bigger than that one right there.
Oh, man. That has to hurt. Purdy on the ground to that. Yeah, McNeil had 3 sacks first 2 years in the league.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. That was close to a personal foul, roughing the passer on that one.
3rd and long. Purdy stands in over the middle to Samuel, has a way to go, and still on his feet, now tripped up down to the 15. Nowhere near a first down, but certainly a lot closer on a field goal attempt, which they will try here on 4th down to take the lead. Well, the 49ers haven't had the lead the entire day. Detroit got the opening kick, went right down the field and scored. And so now Jake Moody will attempt to do just that. Hit from 43 his last try. This one from 33 yards away. Moody up and good, and the 49ers with their first lead here tonight. So the drive stalls because of the pressure. 49ers thought maybe this was a penalty. Maybe Detroit gets away with one there. But still a field goal, bloody lip and all. San Francisco in front for the first time.
And 49ers fans obviously thought so. It was the last defender coming in. Houston. Purdy's going to the ground. He's going forward. Looks like he lowered his head. The question is it forcible? To me, it appeared to be forcible.
Yeah, Dean, appreciate that.
I think so too. That's a big call.
I didn't see it in live action.
I caught it late, and I know we mentioned it, but I'm glad Dean was able to clean that up.
Yeah, that's certainly a big miss. Why don't we take a look at what's coming up tonight on Fox?
Listen up, you. Next Level Chef premieres tonight.
It's the only competition taking food to the next level.
And this season, we each draft a team from the best up-and-coming chefs.
You two are going down literally much better. Now, an all-new season of Next Level Chef premieres tonight.
All right, so after Dean tells us about the penalty that was missed, bottom line is, though, the 49ers have taken their first lead. 9:52 to go in this game. And here's Goff on the fake. Back, loading up deep, and Williams, is that intercepted? Thomas Williams comes down with it. Wow! Jamison Williams hangs on after a little bobble, and it's good for 22.
Well, that's their third snap of man coverage. A little bit of a wrinkle we thought was coming, and man, now we've seen each team make a big catch off of a deflection. He's open. This ball was thrown a little bit behind him, and I was with you. I thought for a minute that Ambry Thomas, number 20 from San Francisco, caught the deflection.
So a pitch to Montgomery. Left side, breaks a tackle. David Montgomery inside the 40. He had a big first half, but like the Lions offense, quiet in the second half. But for him, that's a 16-yard pickup there.
Well, again, when you have wide receivers, and this time it's Josh Reynolds, number 8, who can seal this edge. That's Chase Young. That is a premier defensive lineman in this league. And when you can block them, these condensed formations, we see it out of both of these offenses. In the run game, they bring all those wide receivers, and it helps them run and account for the extra defenders.
Montgomery, flea flicker. Goff steps away from pressure. Looking, throwing deep. Jamison Williams is there. Oh, and it goes through the hands. It's incomplete. I thought he had a chance in real time at that, and it's second down.
Yeah, I want to see the timing, Jair Brown. I think this was really good timing. You'll see Williams, he kind of stopped quickly. I don't think he expected the ball after being rerouted, but I think that's a great no call. Good timing there by Brown, and we got a 49er player down.
Yeah, injury timeout in Santa Clara. Looked like kind of an ankle here, Greg.
Yeah, he trips. He gets in the feet of his own teammate, Jair Brown, and you see him twist that left ankle.
Meanwhile, Logan Ryan has come in. Deommodore Lenoir, who plays slot, will now go outside a corner. They're not super deep at outside cornerback if Thomas is out of the game for a while. Second down for Goff. Coming near side high for Gibbs, and it brings up third and long. You know, interestingly enough, St. Brown has not been targeted in the second half. He's their number one guy over the middle on third downs. 5 catches in the first half, nothing in this second half. This would be the time.
Yeah, and Goff has to be smart here. Obviously, they want to convert and pick up this third down. We've seen him operate in third down at a high level all game. But at the very least, check it down. Either give yourself a fourth down try or a more makeable field goal. You can't take a sack.
Third and 10. Blitz coming. Goff, far side of the field. There is St. Brown. Makes the catch. He is not going to get to the first, but it is certainly a makeable field goal now, to your point. It'll be about a 48-yarder from there.
Well, I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion that they're even going to try to kick it. I think Dan Campbell, from the very beginning, he is going to maximize every possession. What do we say? It's a race to 30. He's got his offense out there, and it looks like they're going to go for this here on 4th down.
They line up Jahmyr Gibbs as a wide receiver. Nope, no they don't. Comes in motion. 4th and 3. Goff, pressure, in trouble, throws on the run, incomplete. And the gamble on 4th down does not pay off.
All right, so originally Greenlaw was out here and they thought it was man coverage. So they run a mesh concept, but it's zone. That's a really nice disguise here by Steve Wilkes. Pre-snap read before Gibbs got brought in, told him man. That mesh is a man beater. You zone it out. There was nowhere to go with the ball, and that's 2 big 4th down stops now in the second half by this 49ers defense.
And Badgley sitting, doesn't get the opportunity, and so San Francisco remains in front by 3. Now it's McCaffrey. Nothing up the middle, and then dances his way. What a run that was. Nothing there initially. A little stutter step, going to pick up nearly 7.
Man, I think that's the thing about McCaffrey, right? We talk about the home run plays, the highlight reel. He's almost a half wide out, half running back, but how many backs in the league pick up 7 yards on that look? His vision, his footwork, his ability to make something out of nothing. I know he hasn't had his typical day, but man, he is so efficient on those early down runs.
Here's a fake. Purdy looking for Samuel, throwing that way. Deebo Samuel's got a 1st down. Out near the 44.
You know, in the first half, Kyle Shanahan had Brock Purdy really operating almost 3/4, 75% of the time out of the shotgun. We've seen a lot more under center, a lot more early 1st and 2nd down pass. And remember, we talked coming in, the run game was going to be tough sledding against this Detroit defense. They have him here again. Base personnel, 5 bigs along the front. The pass game is really what's brought them to life in the second half.
Run it here, though. McCaffrey, strong run to the outside, and then gets stuck by Kirby Joseph on a nice tackle. He is up over 100 scrimmage yards with a couple of TDs, so even not his best days are still, 100 plus on a couple scores. And now Kyle Shanahan. How aggressive are you here?
I think you stay as aggressive as they've come out in this second half. I don't think they lose a thing. I think whether they're up 3, down 3, tied, the score cannot dictate your play style. I think he's got to stay aggressive, and he can't just think, all right, I got to just get to the end of this game. They've got to force their will here and try to extend their lead.
Purdy to throw it. Has a lot of time. Just dumps it off McCaffrey. Makes the catch at midfield, and he's slammed down to the ground there. Going to pick up 5 as Branch on the tackle, and now you got to watch the clock as we're near 5 minutes to go.
See what Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for Detroit, he's mixed in a little bit more pressure, bringing Branch off the slot, bringing a Fatu Melifonwu from his safety position. They've played a little zone, little man, a lot of zone. This seems like one of the most critical downs of this game here for Detroit Lions defense, and Aaron Glenn needs an answer.
3rd down, 4-man rush. Purdy in some trouble, escapes, looking for the 1st down. He's got it and more. Brock Purdy with the legs inside the 30.
Well, we sound like broken records. He has made some of his best plays today with his legs, and it's an element of his game that they don't give him enough credit. It's man coverage. So remember, once he gets through the first line here of the defensive front, there's only Alex Anzalone left. Everybody else has their back turned, playing man defense, and Purdy has hurt Detroit with his legs today as a runner and a passer. more so than anything else.
Who had Purdy on the bingo card for 51 rushing yards? All been in this half as well. Here's McCaffrey. Right side. Breaks the tackle. McCaffrey. Foot race. Taken down inside the 5.
Yeah, you see McCaffrey saying, man, coach, I need one. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's running through contact. He's picking up the hard yards. And now here's the explosive chunk. But take a look at the point of attack. George Kittle, Charlie Warner, right here on the right side, working this combination block. Kittle picks up 2. Use check down the field. He's got Gardner Johnson. And
he also landed on his head.
That's probably why he needed a quick blow.
Elijah Mitchell in for the first time tonight. Guess what? He's going to get it. Mitchell surging forward. Touchdown!
It's the exact same play they scored on the goal line earlier in the half with McCaffrey. Just traditional goal line, 3 tight ends, power O. And why not?
What a difference a half makes. 49ers were dominated in the first half, and they have flipped the script here in this second half. Now Moody to make it a 10-point lead. He's got it. 27 in the second half for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan told us this week, we have never won a game like last week where we were down, weren't playing great, and we pulled it out with the last second drive. Well, they were down 17 in this game, and they didn't look very good. And all of a sudden, with 3:02 to go, they're up by 10 with a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
You know, there's that famous graphic that every network has put up in Kyle Shanahan games when they're trailing, and it typically talks to them trailing entering the fourth quarter, but just generally speaking, it's not a team that has operated well from behind, and I think you have to attribute a lot of that to the trust he has in Brock Purdy. And I think today, as you said, he's been efficient passing the ball, but it's really been his ability to extend the play as a passer. And of course, some of his biggest plays have been converting first downs with his legs. And you can tell that sideline, they can feel it right now.
Well, in this second half, Purdy and the offense have been good. 281 yards. And up by 10, and the Lions up against it. 2 monstrous plays in this half. We're both on 4th down, and both plays that probably could have been made. Here's one to Josh Reynolds. That ball was there and was dropped. San Francisco scored after that, and then this pressure on Goff. Throw is incomplete. They scored after that. 49ers have scored on all 5 possessions in the second half. 27 unanswered. And now Detroit needs something and needs it fast. Goff, pressure on the run, throws incomplete. Didn't look like St. Brown was even expecting that.
Yeah, now this is where, if you're San Francisco and you got this high-priced, premier front 4 pass rush, there's 2 ways to close out games. On defense, it's your pass rush. On offense, it's your run game. Steve Wilks, he's going to call up pass rush games, twists, TE stunts. He's going to unleash his best 4 pass rushers and try to end this game.
Goff near side, Gibbs has it underneath, tackled immediately. Trey Greenlaw all over it and brings up 3rd down.
All right, so now if you're Jared Goff, in this Detroit offense, you need to try, of course, to go down and get points as fast as you can without using your timeouts. You got to score twice keep those timeouts if you have to go on defense.
Need this on third. Over the middle, caught Laporta. That'll keep it going. First down.
Yeah, they got to try to get another snap or two in here before the 2-minute. You know, I wouldn't be surprised they get into field goal range if clock is running down. Take 3, attempt an onside, but you can still stop it if you can keep all 3 timeouts in your packet.
Goff over the middle. Laporta again is another first down into 49ers territory. 2:04 to go. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Lions on the move. They need a couple of scores. Championship. And right now, 49ers with 27 unanswered in the second half after the Lions built a 17-point halftime lead. Brock Purdy heated up. So did McCaffrey. And now the Lions with 2 minutes to go. All 3 timeouts. They need 2 scores. Blitz is coming, picked up. Goff deep over the middle, and he has a catch. Down there to Reynolds, who hauls it in. Clock is running. They won't use a timeout.
Yeah, these are the big in-breaker chunks that they need. And again, no use of using your timeouts. You don't want to just become strictly reliant on recovering an onside kick.
Goff far side. Laporta makes the catch, slides out of bounds. Out around the 16-yard line. We'll put it down there. You know, just keep in mind, Dan Campbell, he told us early in the year, I'm big enough to handle if we go for a 4th down and don't get it. We're going to be aggressive. They've gone for it twice. The last time they eschewed a 48-yard field goal to do it. That's why they're down 10 here.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's very easy to criticize the outcome, but I don't think it takes away from it's the right decision. Dan Campbell has stayed true to that philosophy from day one. You can't judge it just because it didn't work. It's reason they've gotten here.
Second down. Goff over the middle again. St. Brown down inside the 10. First and goal. Time ticking. 1:30 to go.
I feel like this one needs to go in the end zone, out of bounds to stop the clock. You cannot get tackled in bounds.
Pressure coming. Goff unloads it, and down near the end zone is Firkser, and he's out of bounds. Anthony Firkser hasn't had a single target the entire year.
Yeah, take a look. Watch his left foot. Great shot there. About the 1.5 yards short of the pylon. Take a look right there. Clearly that's in the white, and nice job there by the officials getting it in real time.
First things first, Lions need to score, and then we can talk strategy. Greg Reynolds is the back. Goff on the roll. Looking. Throwing to nowhere. Out of bounds, incomplete. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, the problem right now for Ben Johnson is you're on the 1.5 yard line. You'd love to run the ball, but down here with all these bodies, if you get tackled short, by the time they peel everybody off the pile to preserve your 3 timeouts, you'd let a ton of clock run down.
Well, they brought Montgomery in, and maybe they do it anyway.
And if you run it, you got to score. They did not go big people. They got 3 wide receivers on the field.
They give it to Montgomery. He is swarmed.
That's the problem with running it down there, and now they got to take a timeout. So now you've made.
Now they have to kick an onside kick.
Now you have to get the onside kick, or the game's over.
Well, first they have to get in, Greg. So it's 4th down after that loss to Montgomery. They don't do that, the game is over. Minute to go. They have to score and rely on the onside now after using the timeout. And don't forget the George Halas Trophy presentation coming up. State Farm post game after this.
And again, it's easy to second guess. I feel like in that situation, your timeouts are more valuable. Even if you don't score a touchdown and you get stopped, you take the 3 and still stop the clock.
This is the game. Goff pumps, fires, end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. What a grab by Williams to keep this game alive. For the Detroit touchdown.
It's a really good drive. I'll tell you what, they went down the field fast, only had to use one of those timeouts. They had the benefit of the 2-minute warning, and just a really nice basic cross on the back end line out of that bunch formation. A nice catch there. You see Jameson Williams, he's a little gimpy going to the sideline, and he's got to hope he gets another crack at it by them recovering the onside kick.
Here's Badgley for the extra point. Kick is perfect. So 3-point 49ers lead, but with only 2 timeouts left, the Lions have no choice but to rely on an onside kick recovery. Otherwise, the game's over.
Man, critical situations, clock management, keeping all your timeouts. I mean, there are so many factors that go into the NFL winning and losing on any given week, and it's the difference of a yard. The difference of the yard and having to run the ball there and getting stopped and using that timeout now puts the entire season on the ability of Detroit to recover an onside kick. So they got their hands team out here. So the biggest thing everyone answers, all right, who are my 2 recover guys? We got Juwan Jennings on the down, Chris Conley on the top. Everybody else, blocker, 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 blocker. Everybody else is blocking. He's looking for a little squib on the inside, little bunt.
And timeout, I believe, for the 49ers. They're going to just discuss things. Well, if you just turned it on, shame on you. It's been a wild game. Lions on their opening drive scored in 4 plays. Jameson Williams on a great run. They built a huge lead up by 17 in the first half, which they really dominated. But then 49ers came back. Couple funky plays. Ivy with a touchdown. McCaffrey grinding out yards. And then Mitchell putting it in to make it a 10-point lead. And just moments ago, that to keep the game alive. But now with only 2 timeouts left, again, they chose to run it on 3rd down, as Greg chronicled. Backfired, Montgomery got stopped. So because of that, you have no choice. You've got to try the onside, where they were 0 for 3 this year. And so here we go.
Typically, you're trying to kick it to the wide side of the field. So the ball's on this hash. Try to give as much time to your recovery guys to get down there. See if that's what they do.
Badgley gets into it, high and over. And it's loose, ball is loose. Kittle's going to pick it up, and that'll be that. Kittle stays down to absorb the moment. John Lynch, the general manager, takes a collective sigh. Well, it took a big bounce, Greg.
Yeah, they got the bounce, but take a look here. Whether or not they recovered it, that ball never went 10. Craig Reynolds, number 13, he touched it short of the 10-yard marker, but doesn't matter. George Kittle recovers the onside kick, and San Francisco is finding themselves heading to another Super Bowl.
For Dan Campbell and the Lions, heartbreak at the doorstep.
Yeah, they threw a late flag. That's what the officials are discussing. The illegal touch by Detroit. And again, it doesn't matter either way. San Francisco just kneels the ball out and ends the game. Take a look here. So obviously the rule is it has to go 10 yards before it's touched by the kicking team. Reynolds clearly touched it about 8.5, 9.
I think about Kyle Shanahan this week. I'm going back to it because I think it's so important in who they've been. Get a little wave to the camera. We've never won a game.
Touching, kicking team number 13. Ball we place at the touch spot. It'll be first down for San Francisco. Please put 56 seconds on the game clock. 56.
Said we've never won a game like last week. In the entire time he's been here, the 7 years. Now they've won 2 in a row like that.
Yeah, what better time? The divisional and the conference championship game? Are you kidding me? I mean, pretty impressive performance to come back against this Lions team that came out at such a hot start, getting that 17-point lead at the first half.
And so the 49ers will make their second Super Bowl appearance in the last 5 seasons As Brock Purdy will take a couple of knees. Lions with only 2 timeouts.
Probably going to run this. They want to try to burn off. They can't take the entire remaining time, so they'll run it on first down, burn as much clock.
There you go. Down to 49 seconds. Called their first timeout.
You're going to try to get as many seconds out of each run play as possible.
Detroit takes their second timeout.
All right, they theoretically will have to run it out, or maybe Purdy drops back and just airs one out deep down the field.
Exactly.
However you want to do it.
Exactly right.
You know, what a game. And I know Detroit is hurting right now, especially when you're up 17. It's hard to take away what they have accomplished in a short time under Dan Campbell. And then the flip side, you've got Kyle Shanahan, this 49ers team, since he and John Lynch took over their respective roles, they've been a juggernaut, but they haven't gotten the big prize. 3rd time in a row they're in this championship game.
What's up?
There is Mitchell. And take it down to 47, where they'll stop it for the final time. Well, there's John Lynch, who he and Kyle Shanahan came here 7 years ago, and this team has done nothing but win since. And their opponent, the Kansas City Chiefs, familiar. Last time they were in the Super Bowl, it was game back and forth that Patrick Mahomes pulled out in the end. 49ers were up 10 in that game, remember. Here they were down 17, find themselves on the way to the big game.
Yeah, and it feels like all year in the NFC, the 49ers, they had a couple ups and downs. They had that bad loss against Baltimore, but it always felt like they were the team to beat. But I mean, halfway through the season, I think everyone had given up on Kansas City, and ho-hum Patrick Mahomes is back in it again.
Congrats to the Chiefs as Mitchell rides it down to the 40. And you see there is, what, maybe a second difference?
They've got to snap it, but it's not going to matter. They'll just take a snap. 1 second, 2 will run off. There's 1 second differential, and the game's going to end. That's why they handed it off 3 times. If not, we've been forced to punt.
And so unfinished business for San Francisco. One more hurdle to climb. And one more play to run. They'll take the delay.
It's 5-yard penalty. So 4th down.
Just got to snap it and get down, and it'll be over. 17-point comeback complete. And there it is. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl.